Frank and welcome back to Travel Tips. Today I'm going to take you on a trip to one of my favorite cities in the world, New York. Well, I present all over the world, and about a month ago I did a presentation in New York. I was so excited, great to fly in there, and from Orlando, an easy flight, I think it was around 3 hours, and this time I flew into LaGuardia. Now, taxis at LaGuardia, you've got to be careful between an Uber or a taxi, because it depends on the time of day. Taxis should have a flat rate of about $40 plus all of the taxes, plus all of the tolls and everything else. From JFK it's around $70. I actually took an Uber and there was quite a lot of traffic. It ended up costing me $75, so it might even have been cheaper for me to take one of the yellow cabs over there. Of course, we know that tipping culture, 20% I would say is pretty much, even if you're getting great service over there. If I don't get great service, you're still going to be giving 15%, because remember, most of the people are earning minimum wage and they're relying on those tips. So tipping, a huge culture in America, and be careful, because sometimes you'll find that you get your bill, they've already added 20%, and then they'll leave another little space for the tip. So be careful you don't double tip. Now, doing business there is fantastic, because the New Yorkers work at very much a fast pace. When I'm working over there, I always find out, I phone and say, what is the dress code over there? Because some of the places will be pretty formal, dark suits, white shirts. Others are going to be business formal, so sort of khakis with a nice shirt and loafers. So I always phone and find out what the business atmosphere is going to be. I was presenting on a Friday, so a lot of the companies will have casual Friday as well. If you're invited out to dinner, and this is not only in New York, this is all over the US, which is, I had to get used to, it's normally around 6 o'clock that you'll go for supper. They always have early suppers and you finish by about 8:30, 9. Whereas when I'm in Europe, the suppers are only for 8:30 or 9 o'clock. In Spain, it would be 9:30 at night. Prices in New York, pretty expensive, but you can get any kind of food. Food is fantastic there. I love to get my Reuben sandwich when I'm over there. It is huge, great meal. They're also famous for their clam chowder, of course, pizzas, bagels, pretzels. And when I stay there, I like to stay pretty central around 5th Avenue. This time I was very fortunate. The company had booked me into the Courtyard by Marriott, which was right at Times Square. Hotel was great. They gave me a fantastic room. I got an early check-in over there. But the best thing about it was I could walk anywhere. But the best thing was I could walk anywhere. I mean, shopping is fantastic over there. You've got so many places you can go. You've got 5th Avenue, you've got Times Square. There's just more shopping than you could ever think of. And of course, my favorite around Christmas time now is going to Macy's. Of course, the biggest store in New York, and it's just fantastic. I don't know how many stories, 10 stories or whatever it is, but what I love is the way they decorate it and everything that happens in that fantastic store. Still my favorite store anywhere in the world. I love shopping in Macy's. In fact, when I'm finished filming today, I'm off to Orlando to Macy's. Now, there's a lot of things to do over there. I was invited to a party by the company. We went to the 48 Lounge. Very vibey, great music. Booze is pretty expensive. Great food over there. But what I'd suggest to you is do the hop-on, hop-off bus tour, because that way you can see everything. I remember when I went quite a few months ago, I did the hop-on, hop-off, but I did two. I had one that took me out to the Bronx, so there's 2 or 3 different routes you can go, and I tried going on all of the routes, because that way you can get a real feel for what New York is all about. You have to go, if it's your first time, to the Statue of Liberty, Empire State Building, which is right close to Times Square there. The theaters, the theater district is fantastic. I mean, if you can get to see a show on Broadway, that's an absolute win. Central Park is great to go, and if you're going to go there, take a buggy ride. It's really great. And there's a great restaurant right in Central Park, but you've got to book pretty early to get into that there. Fifth Avenue, great. And also I'm a drummer, so I'm always looking for drum shops. And again, not too far from me. By the way, you're going to walk your butt off when you're in New York. You're walking everywhere. If you want to, you can take the MTR. The MTR system works great. So I did a walk and I went to Steve Maxwell's drum shop, which was just absolutely fantastic. They've got these little drum rooms that you can go into, try out all of the cymbals. They've got new, used cymbals, new, used drum kits. And I saw a drum kit there for $27,000, a used drum kit. And that used to belong to Philly Joe Jones. So as you can imagine, and it was just magnificent. Now, the MTR is also fantastic, as are the trains. So I had another job, so I went in Friday, spoke over there, had the weekend in New York, and then Sunday night had to go out to Westchester, which is outside of New York, caught the train out there. The trains are fantastic. Grand Central Station is something just to go in and see. It is a massive station, absolutely fantastic. Took my train out there, and that night I was invited to a party in Yonkers, a pretty famous Irish writer, P.J. Cunningham, I know from Ireland, and he was launching his book there, so he invited me, and it was just fantastic. I couldn't believe how big the Irish population is in New York, but especially around Yonkers. We had a great party that night. Well, what I could remember of the party, it was fantastic. Now, if you're a jazz fan, there is just great jazz, all kinds of music, but I'm a jazz fan, and my two favorite clubs there are Birdland and the Blue Note. Now, the Blue Note, you've got to book pretty early because it's quite a compact club. If you can get in early, you can sit and you can have the meal there. I booked too late, unfortunately, so I had to have standing room. And the standing room is really, really tiny. I think only maybe about 20 people can go into the standing room. And if you've got somebody big in front of you, you're not going to see much. But try and get to the Blue Note. Wonderful, wonderful jazz. They have 2 shows a night, an early show and a late show. Also try out the metro, try out the ferry, the subway. New York is just a place of so many things to do and see. But as I say, if you're a first timer, do the hop on, hop off bus tour. See the things you want to hop off, check out those things. Also, if you're going there in December, go to the skating rink. There's one just in a park right near Times Square. And they also have lots of little stalls where you can buy all kinds of things over there. So you've got to put New York on your places to visit. Hey, this is Frank.